Happy with that?
We're in the Creedy Valley here, which is well known for apple growing, and under Jerry Grove, cider in every farm nearly. And I think the corn barn, thrashing barn, 1480, 1490. But I haven't met him down here to age this one, but I expect he isn't very far behind. 1500, something like that. We've been a cider barn all our time and long time before. So we start by putting in, this is a wooden dish, 7 foot across, 7 foot both ways. Start with putting in a layer of straw, and this is barley, clean barley straw. The old ones used to use oaten straw that was cut with a binder and put through the thrasher straight. So you could, but we cheat a bit. We put in barley straw with a bit of wheat reed to bind it in. Great grandfather came here, and he had wooden screw press. Father changed that in 1937, and they put in a new mill, which is a Beers mill from Newton Abbot. And before that, we had what they call tumblers, which is 2 gears going together about 6 inches wide, about 6 inches diameter, and they crush the apples. But then putting it our way with straw, you had to shear the muck with a hay knife, which I got there, 2 or 3 times to get the best out of your apples. And you bring the barley straw out with the pumice to filter it, and you fold it in. And that's about all I can tell you about that. That's a modern way, more modern way of doing it with a reed. But if you've got nice long oat straw, you can do it fine with that. Oh, we 2 or 3 days, we press it, we make it one day, share it the next, and very often we can leave it out the next. So to the two a week or something, it's quite normal. But we aren't in a big way. our cider day, you shouldn't think you were shouting, shouldn't it?
Hello. Well, you've got lubrication. That's not grease, is it?
What?
What's
No,
on your
cider.
shirt?
You put cider up there, or apple juice.
Yeah.
It'll slip just like that. You mustn't have any grease here.
Lard, you can use lard.
Yes, or I have used what do you call it before now? Tell you in a minute. Vaseline.
Vaseline.
I was going to say Vaseline, but that's another story.
That's why you keep by your bed, isn't it?
Then the road comes.
Reed to bind it in, and as you see, it's going up there very well. Put up about 12 or 14 cakes, if you like, and press it down. We can put up about 300 gallon to a time, which is 2.5 ton of apples. It's got to be cider apples because of the tannin, and it's what we call bittersweets. And 90% of ours is bittersweets. There is a few that isn't. That gives the cider the right taste.
Yes, wait a minute. You just need to be patient. Fuck me, I gotta get it away.
John, will you come in here? Devonshire people got their own pace, haven't they, Peter?
Yeah.
And he'll do it directly. Which is any time between now and next week.
You can have a look there, John, over in there.
Well, that's where the horse is it?
Yeah. Oh, it used to be.
You go in there, John.
Just up on the top there,
Be a good man.
and you're right, at the tank was keep turning it over.
He is now, isn't he? He's kept the drilling until now. Proper job.
Started raining again. We've got the remnants of the old press, which was a piece of elm, 2 foot square, with 2 wooden screws up through. They used to bring that down on the same sort of press, I imagine, or dish as that, and you could turn it with your turn bars, like, you know. And like I say, previously, before Father put in this new system, we used to have horse with horse wheel here, and went through these tumblers, which were 2 iron wheels going together, just squash the apples. And of course, the riper they were, the better they squashed, so they didn't worry about a bit of rot or anything. And I think the death of a lot of the cider mills was when people changed religions, and I mustn't go into religion, but the Methodists came, and a lot of the pounds were taken out. And it was got quite a bad thing with drunkenness with cider. So you've got to be moderate with your intake. But if you drink cider in moderation like we do, it's a very healthy drink. And well, I'm 70 odd now, so been drinking it all my life, and it hasn't hurt me a lot, but all in moderation. We use Northwoods and Browns and Sweet Coppins mainly. There is some old varieties here that I'm afraid I've lost track of, such as Winter Stubbit is good apple. It's a green pig's nose apple, and they used to bear very prolific, but I don't know whether they were the best cider apple. And anyway, we got a few earlier sorts that like Tom Putts. They call that a cider apple. Well, I don't really, because there isn't much tannin in them, and it comes too early for us. We like to start about 1st of October, but November was always the cider making month, and they'd store them in heaps in the orchard to get them softer when they went through the old machine. But the new machines doesn't matter, but they've got to be right. You don't want to rattle them down when they aren't right. To get the sugars up for the alcohol content. And so we pump it away now into these bigger vats, but we got the pipes we got here, and there's hogsets there, and puncheons we got back behind. It's 3 sorts different. One that's supposed to be about 54 gallon, and these are about 80 gallon, and the puncheons are about 120. Well, the pipes are 120 and the puncheons are about 80. Yeah. We press it down with it's like a ratchet spanner, and you put it one way to push it up, one way to come down, and then we turn it in quarter turns, because we got a windlass here, which you'll see directly, and then you go around with the bar and wind it down tight. You've got to be careful that you don't overdo it, but and that'll really press them up down. So. All oak, made of 4-inch oak, the dish is, with bars through, and the clever chaps, there's a guy who made a bar that he goes 7 foot, boring it all the way and getting it right. He's what I call a good carpenter, because it was done, the chap who done it I can remember, and we usually had to tighten it up a few, but we got to soak the press for a week before the dish before we to swell it up. And wood swells a 1/12 of its size in water if it's very dry. So it seals itself really with a bit of clay in that from the local pond here that I stopped the gaps. It's running a nice colour there now. And being a little bit longer, Barney's in the factory is milled, and you notice it comes down white nearly, is milled and pressed and in the tank in 5 minutes. Well, this could be an hour out there and apples turn colourless, and ours is always a bit darker. Most of them are very much like this. Yes, only the factories in Creedy Valley, they started in about the 20s, I think, and they had a better press, or better, faster. That's all I can say. This is a bit labour intensive. That's why we've got to charge a little bit more. It's what you call craft cider. This is. I'll get one in with the rest of the beer drinkers. And stored in these wooden barrels after.
then. Reminds me of some of the young farmers games we used to
Yeah,
spin
right.
around the broom, wasn't
Slightly less swearing,
it? Yes.
amongst other things.
You would never remember, were you?
I wasn't a farmer, but my
Didn't need to
closest,
be.
well, no, my closest friend was, and we went to some of the events. Bloody hell! Just, you know, never seen anything like it since.
You were calmed down since nearly like you only just been let out once a year or something.
It honestly, it was. I remember going to a hockey festival in Weymouth. It was just carnage, absolute carnage.
No drink involved.
No, not a drop. Yeah, good times, but unsustainable.
True.
Right, you manage it, me now.
Is there any there, I think?
What? You want to go on and I... Yeah. What?
Yeah, we can read it.
Got a cup of tea or anything before you go?
No, I'm all right, thank you. That's very kind.
We'll come up to your car anyway.
So
and
are
have a look at
the
the...
baguette spuds from this one right there. How about you doing spuds yesterday?
Big, we sold them all.